I still want to live.
So I'm allowed to drink my coffee?
Yeah, of course.
It's not branded, so...
No, you can. You can. Welcome to the Free Ride Podcast. Thank you very much to all of you who love and enjoy this content. And I've been seeing your feedback. I really appreciate it. I've been seeing so many of you guys have been subscribing to the channel. You've been telling me, "Mani, keep up with this thing." So here I am again. I've got an amazing lady who's joining me today. She's a professional. She started out in the IT industry and she's doing something completely different. She's focusing on the mind. She's focusing on the issues that we have psychologically as men, as young people, and of course, all of us need assistance. So THANDEKA joins me today. I'm so excited to speak to her. And let me say good morning and welcome to the Free Ride Podcast. My sister, how are you? I'm good, I'm good. Good to see you.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to have you because I've had your husband here and he shared so much pearls of wisdom as well. And he has helped so many people, you know, with his advice. No pressure. No pressure. I was just putting a disclaimer. So THANDEKA, let's introduce you. THANDEKA, you were born in Soweto. Go guys. Oh. What?
But then I moved around also to ended up focusing as well. Then came this side, and then all the sides.
What was happening was mom and dad moving around the
Because me, I was a kid, Zulu, and I was excelling in my school, you know. And all of a sudden, I don't know how to communicate. I don't know conversation. Because I don't know English, you know. So that was a shock for me, and it threw me off. Because all of a sudden, I was measured according to the language which I didn't know. Yeah. And it messed me up psychologically. Because now, I saw myself as stupid. Yeah, from a place where every year we're supposed to go into a space where you don't even understand when the teacher says to you, tomorrow you're writing a cycle test. You're like, what is a cycle test?
And nobody's telling you.
No, nobody's telling you. Whether you go home, it's still the same. Half after school, you're playing with your friends, and then the next thing tomorrow, test. So those are the shocks.
Which multiracial school was it?
It was Senatius in Krugersdorp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the nuns. It was like
with the nuns.
Culture shock.
Yes.
So that was that.
Yeah.
Learned English bit by bit, but I think it took me long because I became very curious.
Oh, really?
With the language. Because remember now I was measured according to the language.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I hate this language, and therefore I won't know it, but I was listening to myself.
Yeah.
And then high school, we moved to this side around here.
Yeah.
And then I went to KHS and I finished.
Krugersdorp High School?
Yes.
Oh, you went there?
I was there.
Oh!
I was there.
But Krugersdorp High School was the boss, though.
You know, you can't touch us.
No, it was a top school.
Yeah, it was. Back then it was good. mother helped a lot because my mom was like, whatever you do IT, you get money.
Yeah, you'll get work.
Yeah, because I know people in the IT space and they are rich.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, go IT.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Rao, that's what I did. I studied BSc Computer Science Informatics.
Wow.
You
didn't learn it in Africa?
No. That's the thing. In Rao, back then, the English classes were in the evening.
Oh, okay.
And then the Afrikaans classes were in the mornings. So that was a schlep because now I was traveling from Roodepoort to Rao for evening classes, and then after class, now you've got a problem with the transport. The buses are finished. So that's how I lived next to school.
Oh, you stayed around Auckland Park?
And then Kobrixstein.
Kobrixstein?
Yeah.
Wow! Yes!
I stayed
But Brixton wasn't what it is now.
No, there's no ways I'll be staying there. It was safe, eh? It was safe, and because I remember you'd go library, because Rao's library was 24 hours. So you could be at the library until 10 p.m.
Oh.
And then we'll have guys from the computer lab that is halfway to our, because I was outside, my accommodation was outside Rao.
Yeah.
And that was safe. So there were never stories of someone was robbed or the phone was taken and all of that stuff. That never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so your integration into, your multiracial schools and Rao, of course it was a culture shock. It was a different. But now you being a black child, a black girl, was it difficult? Was it even harder being a black girl then?
Sure, dude. I was not even focused on the gender side. Eh?
It was just half.
Begunzima. Find a way. Because I remember the trauma which I experienced at Rao was my last year in my degree. Because last year you have to do a practicum.
Practical, yeah.
Yeah, Angiti, you are doing IT, so you need to show Guti you've learned your theory. So now you must produce, you must create something.
Yeah.
And we're a group of 5.
Okay.
And the project was a year long. And the mistake I made is I was in a team where the people I was with, they were not measuring computer science like I was.
Oh.
So it was like your engineers, people who were doing math stats and whatnot. So it was like a module for them in computer science. So during the year, they decide to all drop. Like, no, Tina, we're still here next year. We can do this again and whatnot. And I'm thinking, but this is my final year. I need this project, and it needs to happen. So that was a trauma, but it helped me grow as well because I didn't give up. So I had to go to my lecturer and tell her the situation, and she was like, listen here, I need to fail you as a group, right?
Okay.
Because now it's one man standing. However, I'm going to give you a mark as an individual.
Oh.
So then I still pushed and I still did my part in the programming space, where whatever it is that I needed to program, I had to do it. Sleepless nights and all of that. But I made it because then I got my degree.
Yes.
Yeah. So that.
And when was this?
I don't know. Years ago. Come on now.
Yeah, the Rao years.
Hence I'm still
Just
calling
go back
it
there.
Yeah.
And then, so you got your degree, and then what was your first job?
Application support. My first job was a good job. I got a job according to my paper.
Okay.
Yeah. But I started in a banking financial space, and I was doing application support. What does application support mean? It means you take care of the applications that the banks are using. So, for example, whatever system they're using to trade, I would be looking after that system.
Oh.
And I would be making sure it works. Because if a trader has a system that doesn't work and it goes down for even a split second, they've lost money.
Jesus!
So you always had to be on your toes. You always had to be there. I walked around with my laptop was like my phone. Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, whenever I get a call, I must be available to log on and sort out whatever the system issues would be.
Yeah.
So you'd find yourself in a space where Sunday afternoon, you leave your family and you go to the office, and you're at the office from, let's say, 3 p.m. until 3 a.m.
Yes.
Doing maybe application upgrades. But it's not you and people. It would be literally me and computers in a big room, you know. And I think that's when my love for IT started to
go down.
Yeah, go down, because I was spending most of my time with computers and not people.
And were you married then?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Initially, I was not, because when I started working, I hadn't met my husband yet.
Okay.
So we met at work. He was one of the people who the application I was using, he was the person who was what? An account manager.
Oh, okay.
For that particular application.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he would come and see, which are we still happy with the application. I remember the first time I saw him, I was excited to see him.
What?
Not because I liked him.
Oh, okay.
Let's make it clear.
Okay.
I was excited because he was a black person.
Oh.
Because I was in a group where I was working with, I was in a space where I was working with a white team. So seeing a black person for me was like, yes, at least finally
someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Brother man. He didn't know how to kuluma because he's Zimbabwean and he spoke English. And I remember telling him, you young bora. Because I was looking forward to kuluma right now.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Yo. Wow, was it love at first sight?
Not for me. I mean, dude, work. I was very, I don't know, I think that's how I was raised. Like at school. Yeah. School for me was school. Okay. I didn't have a boyfriend at school.
Really?
I had a boyfriend outside another school.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So work as well for me was like that. Which must span in my span. Yeah. So Magazile, when he came, I saw, okay, he's coming with a system which I need. These are the things which I saw. It was a professional relationship first. Yeah. Kanti and he had other ideas.
He was like, I love them shot.
So as an account manager, obviously, to make your clients happy with your system, you take them out for lunch. I mean, I thought that was normal. Kanti and he's busy.
What?
You know, checking me out. Because he was smart. He would take me and one of my colleagues to the lunch. So obviously then it looks like it's a work. Kanti, he knows what he was up to.
He's planting seeds. Oh wow, man. Yeah. And then when did you become a mom?
We got married, was it 2006?
Yeah.
And then my first born 2009. I hope I'm right. Yeah. So
now did it so at what point did you leave IT?
When I became a mother.
Oh, you're like
So I remember when my daughter was born, had fun being a mom at home, 6 months maternity leave, and then when I had to go back to work, I couldn't. I struggled. I struggled. And I remember telling my manager, okay, I'm back, but my mind and my heart is at home, you know?
Yeah.
And I tried to work, but I couldn't, man. I just couldn't. And then I stopped working.
Oh.
I was like, I can't do this. I want to be with my daughter. Stopped working.
Yeah.
And then,
motherhood just took over.
Yeah, but before I stopped, they asked me to be a consultant. And then consulting worked better.
Okay.
Because then I had my time as well. I could be home and still work.
Yeah.
Unlike where I was fully at work. Right? And then obviously stopping working was nice and good, but life happened, finances.
Yeah.
So I had to go back.
Yeah.
You know? So I went back to another financial institution. But there I saw flames. There they didn't play. I remember my husband and my daughter would come and pick me up. Right? And I would tell them, yes, I'm finishing at 5. And they would be outside. And then I'd go at 5 and say, I'm coming. 8 p.m. they're still outside. I'm still in the office.
Jesus. And they didn't care.
No. You understand? Because IT do. And when things happen, you must be there. You must be able to sort and solve the problems. So that tomorrow everything goes back to normal and it runs smoothly for everyone who uses the system. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, that was it. Because I remember for me, the day I resigned, it was not planned. I was coming from work, driving home, and I was in tears. And I was like, what is happening here? Why am I crying? Like, driving home in tears. I'm like, oh, what? No way.
Something is wrong.
No, something is wrong. I got home. I said to Gerald, I've never written a resignation letter. You know English better than me. Write the letter. Tomorrow I'm sending it.
What?
And that's how I resigned.
And you had no plan B?
No. Plan B was, I don't want to cry.
Yeah.
Coming back from work.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yo. So now, I mean, it just makes me think, Gore, when you're at school, you're thinking this career, it's going to make you money, all of this stuff. Years down the line, you realize, or the money is good.
No, the money was good.
But the life was not there.
Life, no. I think IT, or the one that I was doing, it's good when you are still starting off and you don't have responsibilities like a husband and children. The minute that happens, there must be a progression of some sort as well in your career.
Yeah.
You can't still be doing the same things of waking up at 3 a.m. and be busy with end of day situations and all of that.
Yeah.
And on weekends, you are not with family because you've got an upgrade that you must do so that Saturday, Sunday or Monday morning, everything is up to speed. No.
I also found out that, what was interesting about IT is that you always find solutions to problems. It's like there's no problem. If there's a problem, you must find it and you must solve it. Did it help you in any way to make you the person who finds solutions to problems?
Yeah, I'm solution focused a lot. Like, it helped me in a way, Guti. I don't stress a lot when I'm faced with problems.
Okay.
Because I know there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah. And there's always a solution.
Yeah, so panicking,
yeah,
it doesn't work well with me. When I'm panicking, then you must know what to then
actually like solutions
you know. So it helped me in that sense, which you're always thinking on your feet.
Yeah.
You always have plan A, because that's what you were taught. To go to, there must be plan A, B, C, D, and Z.
Just as you can't say you don't know.
No, once you reach plan B, now work on plan C and D, so that in case plan B also messes up, with the C, D, and Z.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yo. So for anyone who wants to study what you studied, it's good when you are younger.
No, it's good. It depends on the personality of a person as well, because I think that's where I actually discovered myself, Guti. I enjoy being around people.
Okay.
And all my life, I actually thought I loved being by myself.
Oh.
But no, I actually love being with people, laughing, socializing, motivating, sharing ideas. That was me. But then when you're in a space where you're in IT and most of the time you're surrounded by computers, and the solutions that you talk about in a group setting it's very technical, and that was not for me. But for some people, that would work out great. Yeah.
And so, so now there was a change of career now. Like you needed to find plan Z.
That happened when after I resigned. Life will surprise you.
Yeah.
So I resigned in December. And then in late December, I found out I'm pregnant.
Second one.
Yo. Right?
Yo.
No, not second one. Last one. Second but last. Because I don't want to give ideas. Go to the still more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The second last one.
The last one.
Yeah. Got pregnant, and I was like, okay, what do we do? Gerald, my husband, had to go and work, and he was working.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, no, I need to do something. What is it that I can do? And then I was like, I know passion is people. And most of the time, I get people who would come to me and be seeking advice. And I was like, okay, what's this all about? I remember even my friends at high school, they would call me Sistoli.
Remember Sistoli? Dear Sistoli?
Dear Sistoli, and that would be me. And I would be like, okay, there's something in this. Let me, because now I've got time to think. So now I'm thinking, I'm at home, I'm preggies. And I was like, okay, theology or psychology? I had to choose between the two.
Oh, okay.
Because theology can still help people.
Yeah.
But I felt theology, it can limit you as well.
It's more religious.
Yeah, it's more, religious, where it goes to the people. It's limited.
Yeah.
While in psychology, I can sit with an atheist.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's more about...
hopefully
Yeah.
give them light.
Okay. Makes sense.
To change their behavior.
Oh.
While theology with an atheist already comes to me feeling already judged.
Yeah.
Without me even saying a word.
The barriers already
He already feels good, I'm gonna judge him. Or you understand that, and that's when I had to make a choice. Psychology is the route I needed to take. And then I went back to school while breastfeeding. I remember telling my husband, my son, when I graduate, I want him next to me. Because when I was doing those assignments at 3 a.m., he was with me breastfeeding. I'll be typing the assignments and he's here breastfeeding and stuff. So I was like, that's the person who actually supported my gig,
Yeah.
So,
He was there.
He was there by force. Yeah, he was there,
And when you graduated, he was there?
When I graduated, the COVID happened.
Oh, yes.
And they delayed our graduations and stuff, and it became a virtual thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, so now you are qualified as what?
As a registered counselor. Not a counsel.
Okay, not a counselor, as in,
Yeah.
Not a counselor.
It confuses people, because when you say I'm a registered counselor in the space of psychology, they're like, what? So what's a psychologist then and you? So the difference, just to make it simple, the difference between a psychologist and me is I don't diagnose.
Okay.
I will refer you to a psychologist for you to get diagnosed.
Okay.
And I'm more of, let's prevent you from getting to a psychologist or psychiatrist.
Oh.
Let's deal now. See the light now before things get even worse, so that you find yourself in a space where now you have to be diagnosed. Or when you've been diagnosed, but you are still not, you still need psychological intervention. Because sometimes people get diagnosed and they're given tablets, but there's no counseling.
Yes.
So that's where I come in.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, for instance, with kids, they'll say this child needs or has ADHD, and then they recommend that you take some tablets.
Yeah, they take some tablets, but then that child also needs counseling, so that they know how to manage their ADHD, right?
Yeah.
And they know how to function within the society as well.
That's because, as black people, I'm sure when you grew up as well, you didn't think psychology was a thing.
No.
We didn't think black people need psychological assistance. No. Is the stereotype still the same?
No,
or now we are
there.
Is it still there?
Still there. People are very... Talking about Ushuguti, there's a stereotype, it's still there. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I won't sit with a psychologist. I know how to do. Why would I trust a stranger to fix my things when they're mine?
Yeah.
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 And they don't understand what psychology is more than that.
So what is it?
So, in a nutshell, because I heard you in the beginning, you said it's about mind. It's more than a mind. It's
You've got a very nice car, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir.
Is it about 60?
It's 55.
55.
Yes,
So
sir.
I was wrong. I said it was 1960.
No, it's almost there. Thank you very much, sir.
It's even better than the new one.
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Very nice. Lovely car.
Thank you. Wow.
And he's a gentleman, eh?
He's a gentleman.
Opening the door for the wife.
Yeah.
Gerald, learn.
Oh, you'd love to drive one?
We could sit in your car and get married.
Oh, wow.
That's the ceremony.
Yes, that's it. You can renew your vows in here.
Yes.
Anytime for you.
You can take us to renew.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Definitely. We'll definitely love to do that.
Sit here and let nobody pay.
We'll pay you for the chauffeur for the day.
Ah, definitely. We'd love that.
Just for the chauffeur.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Awesome, awesome.
Nice
Well.
couple.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you were still explaining, Khore, what is psychology? So it's more than just the mind.
Yeah, it goes as further as your emotions. So it's not just about the mind. So it's a scientific study of the mind and your emotions,
Okay.
which now before we even get to the emotions, it's basically a study of the mind and behavior.
Okay.
But you cannot behave outside your emotions,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So it's basically we are studying for you to behave like this. What triggered it? It was your emotions. Where do your emotions come from? From your thoughts.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of your heart and your mind.
So it starts here.
Okay.
How you think.
Yeah.
It affects how you feel.
Yes.
And then how you feel then is how you're going to behave or act.
Okay. Okay. So we as black people, we've never been able to understand the connection between the two.
Yeah.
All right. And then
So hence most people think it's about kakitlanyi.
yes. Yeah. Mari, the behavior is contradicting what they are saying.
Yeah.
Uzotanhlanye, maru
Yeah,
behavior in a
okay.
certain way. How big is the problem in the country?
Psychology is everywhere.
Okay.
It's everywhere. I mean, for the fact that we're talking about human behavior here.
Yeah.
For the fact that you made a choice and a decision today to wake up and sit here and do what you're doing. We understand. That's
Yeah.
psychology in itself.
Okay.
Because where does the decision come from? From your thoughts.
Yeah.
And it then affects how you are feeling. Okay, I'm feeling like this today, therefore this is what I've chosen, this is how I'm going to behave.
Yes.
So there's psychology everywhere. Psychology is supposed to be in the modules from primary school, high school, tertiary, and work.
So true. Is this why we have such a violent communities, violent society, and just if you look at the state of the nation, that we were not focused on teaching everyone the psychology, as you rightfully put it, Dore, from primary school, just to understand the connection between the mind and
Yeah,
the heart.
but also you must remember, Guti, a person is not raised in an island.
Okay.
So there's also social factors
Yes.
that influence the behavior. It just doesn't come from internal,
Yeah.
right? So the society, how does the society teach everyone how to behave? So with violence, when you're saying we're a violent nation, where does it come from?
Okay.
Does it come from a home? Does it come from the community? Where are we learning the behavior? Because remember, a behavior is learned. It's how you perceive it and how it makes you feel, and then you act it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So like for example, a child who's aggressive at school, they call them my parents. Bully, right? And then the parent is like, I don't know what you're talking about. My child here at home, very decent and normal and whatnot. You understand?
Yeah.
So then there's a discrepancy. In the house, the mother doesn't know this behavior which the teacher is talking about. But then outside the house, what is the child exposed to? Or when the parent is not at home, what is the child exposed to? Does the child at home, TV, wrestling, violent movies, PlayStation, it's guns, blazings, we are killing, we are destroying and whatnot, you understand? Because that's another thing which us as black people, we haven't been exposed to. Mini psychology, for me, I like to treat it as a space of awareness.
Okay.
Right? Why do I mean that? Like, for example, the stages of development in a human life, right? It's not just child development stages that everyone knows. No, we develop until we die.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it's important to know these stages. So, for example, when a child, for the first 6 years, of the child's lives are the most important, because those first 6 years, they will determine what type of a person that child is going to become as an adult.
It's very true, though.
So if your child is from, or not even your child, a child is from a background where there's neglect, where there's no love, where there's no authority, and nakona right authority. Because I don't want you now to think good parenting styles, and the child is well taken care of, and the child does not get that in the first 6 years. What do you think that child is going to be like as an adult in the community?
It's true.
Where would they learn love from when they've never received it and they don't know how it feels like?
I saw it with my with my kids. I think when my kids were all born, one of the decisions I made was I'm going to be present as a father from the day I knew my wife was pregnant to the day they were born to, like you say, all of them. I was there with them for the first 8 years of their lives. Take them to school, take them to creche, come back, play with them, take them to the park, and I can see the rewards now when they are 19, 16, and 11 years old, and they are now, my 19-year-old says, it's because you were there, it's because you were present, it's because you held me by the hand when I was small, you took me to the park, and I realized how important, and I didn't even know I was doing the right thing.
So let me tell you, in psychology, there's this modality that we, this guy, should I mention his name?
Yeah, you can.
If I mention him,
Is he
then
alive?
I won't get clients.
Oh, okay.
Must come to me.
Okay.
So this guy basically talks about the psychosocial stages of development of a human.
Okay.
From not inception, from an infant to until you are 90. Ne? But I don't want to go through all of them. But the one which I'm going to shock you with is when a child learns trust versus mistrust.
Okay.
Akerona, we think trust, we only learn it. No, you betrayed me, therefore I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Trust starts when you are a baby until you are 1.
Sure.
That's when a child learns, can I trust the world or can I not trust the world? And how does it work? When the baby cries and there's a caregiver, a mother or someone who's taking care of the child, and they go and see, why is the baby crying? Let's see what's wrong. Is the baby wet? Does the baby need changing? Or is the baby hungry? Or does the baby need attention?
Yeah.
You know, that's when the baby then learns, okay, here I can trust.
Yeah.
I can trust the caregiver, therefore I can start trusting the world. When I cry, someone attends to my cry. Now a baby who's neglected, who's okhala, eyakhala umntwana,
Ish.
akhale azathi tu, and then bese bathi no azakakhala uhlala quiet, because umntwana uye wathi makakhala. You never attended to their needs, and therefore they then became aware, okay, if when I cry, no one comes, so what's the point of crying? So I can't trust. So when you make that conscious decision, I'm going to be here from the day my wife told me she was pregnant until the day I saw this child for the first time. I'm here. When my child cries, hey, yonkintu ya, you even shout at the wife,
yeah.
You know, and the wife is like, what? Please.
It's like,
I'm
nigga,
the
just
mother.
relax.
Exactly, you know.
I carried him for 9 months.
You can't tell me nothing.
When you just cut the umbilical cord.
But it's because of that. So when your daughter says because you were there, you were teaching them to sort of like overcome the challenges of each stage. You understand? Just like with the potty training, that stage we call it autonomy versus shame and guilt. Right? Autonomy. So umntwana is shame, or a human being, an adult, is shame, they learn it on that stage. Maga yenza potty training nokuba independent. Because maga independent angithi uyamfundisa potty training, there's your toilet nana, or nice iskiki sakho. You understand? Maga hamba lapho sofuna ukukama wozohlala bese uyamfundisa the first time umbonisa, maybe a couple of times umbonisa ukuthi ma uyi toilet this is what you do and what not. Maga yenza umbhekile. I understand, because when you do that, you are giving them validation, and they're like, "Hey, I can do this, mas." It creates what? Independence.
I
can do this thing myself.
It's true.
Shame and guilt comes. Magenze a mistake.
Then you
Uzamile, but still was kakelo mntwana. Magayika sis uyanyanyisa yazi disgusting, and then you say all these things which cause what? Shame and guilt. So now mntwana does what? Feels the shame, feels the guilt. Akasazi ukuthi azenzeni. Understand that? Then that's when it starts. It shame ne guilt ayiqalile kude. Masomdala. All these stages they go according. Understand? That's why the first 6 years most important.
So you would say, if you look at some of the adults today, Uguti, a lot of their hurt and pain and shame started when they were younger.
Yes.
And they never got assisted.
Yes, and they didn't know. Now, when they are carrying it, they don't know. That's why there's so much anger. And you find Uguti, anger, most of the time, it's actually a secondary emotion. It's not the primary. So anger, they use it as a coping mechanism. But under the anger, you want to like the iceberg.
Yes.
Iceberg, you want to just the tip.
The
so
10%.
The 10% is the anger, but underneath it's all the pain and the hurt, the shame, the guilt, the fear, the everything which has not been dealt with. So for you to overcome then the anger, anger management, and you don't understand, anger. You're using the anger as a coping mechanism. There's something beneath, and that's what needs to come out. So now, if people start seeing psychology like that as an awareness, okay, I hear, maybe I do have anger. If we are play anger, okay. Ithi ngeke umuntu ozonginceda ukuthi sihlukule like an onion, as you are peeling the onion. And when you are peeling, you're crying. It gets better. You understand? And sometimes the tears are painful, but at the end they feel good because then you've released and you know the truth, and you are feeling light and all of that, and then now you know where the problem stems from.
And then it's the same. So anger, it's the same as bullies. And maybe somebody who, like a boss who bullies others, or a child and cyberbullying, is it the same, or is it all under anger?
So Yabani, anger, the emotion. When I even would, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Am I allowed?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, so if I say
now I'm
to
scared.
You, no, it's about anger. When I say anger, is anger a good thing or a bad? Good emotion or bad emotion?
I think it's both good and bad.
How is it good?
It's for me, it's helped me deal with bullies. Bad in a sense that, if I use it against people that I love and care about. But if I didn't have it, then I would be bullied. So it helped me because I was bullied when I was much younger. And I had to learn to be angry and learn how to fight to actually deal with my bullies. If I was scared and I was like, so I had to build up this anger.
So is anger a good or bad emotion? Because now you used anger to fight back. Was that good?
It was
fighting back.
The fighting back to defend myself. It was good. Yeah.
And then the bad side of it is what?
The bad side of it is when for instance, you're in a relationship, something does not go your way, you say things out of anger that you shouldn't say, and to some, they don't even know how to control their anger, that they actually turn it into physical. So luckily I was able to learn how to manage my anger at the time. I no longer have it, but when I did, I had to learn how to control it.
But you still do have anger.
It probably is there.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not the bad one. No.
Okay.
You know why I'm saying that?
Okay.
Because anger is an emotion that everyone needs to have.
Okay.
Why? Because the anger is actually a protective human emotion.
Okay.
When there's danger, like right now, when you say you don't have anger, hi Mr. Lion, how are you?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yasuga.
You understand? So
Yeah.
anger is a protective
Okay.
human emotion.
Oh, it's necessary.
It's necessary because if you are walking, minding your own business with your 3 daughters, and then jiggy na libubesi, and it's trying to go for your daughter,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be smiling with that bubesi.
No.
You're gonna be like, what? You
Yeah.
start here first, and
Yeah.
your anger builds up, and then adrenaline is released. You understand? You are getting ready to fight,
Yeah.
flight, or freeze.
True.
You understand?
It's true.
So that's why it's a human protective emotion. We
Okay.
need it.
Okay.
However, there's unhealthy anger.
Okay.
So we need to differentiate.
Yeah.
You understand? There's healthy anger, there's unhealthy anger. Healthy anger, nayo, it's good in a way. Good. Let's say you're watching the news because you love people like I do,
Yeah.
and you watch a story and they talk about a child who's just being abused by a grandfather or whatever. How does that make you feel? Do you smile?
No, of course not.
Upsets you, gets you mad, right? But it gets you mad in a way which you want to do something to end this. Yeah, understand? So that is the healthy anger which leads you to do a constructive change.
Yeah.
So now you are doing something, you're going to go into that community, let's do a petition, let's remove this child, let's do this. Your anger, your healthy anger, has helped you to do something that is constructive.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. And then unhealthy, ile tsumiban.
Yeah. And you don't.
Where yeah, that one focuses on revenge and punishment.
Okay.
Which I want to punish you, and because you did this, and revenge. And that's the societal problem that we have in GBV.
Oh.
It's the unhealthy anger where a person, when they see the person, they are not dealing with the behavior. They want to deal with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You understand? So
Not the
there's
behavior.
not the behavior. Because when you are dealing with healthy anger, you are dealing with the behavior. You did this, not wena sipo unje.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
You see
Makes
the
sense.
difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's understanding the difference.
Yeah. So now in a GVB situation, the guy then sees this woman as an object. Ukuthi wena ngizokupanisha wena. Uyenzeka sona ka song ngizopanisha wena. And you got, okay babes, when you did this, your behavior, man, did I see it correct, or was this your intention? You understand? The mwanza kanjalo, then we are dealing with the anger in a very mature, in a very rational manner.
That's
But
true.
layer revenge and punishment to me ban, like literally you become irrational, or you see red and you just wanna kill.
Yeah.
Or you wanna destroy, or you wanna cause pain, because now that's what you had experienced growing up. Yeah, that type of unhealthy anger. So we need to learn. See, again, awareness. So mini psychology for me is, let's be aware of our emotions. Let's know our emotions. Let's know how our emotions affect our behavior. And let's choose right.
So, and the same goes for, in fact, yesterday I got a message from someone who was saying at some school they are having problems with cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And what can be done about it? And what would you do? Or what would you...
Cyberbullying is tricky. Because the cyberbullying, most schools, they run away from it because they're saying it's outside of the... what's the word here? English juries.
The jurisdiction.
Yeah, that one. That one.
jurisdiction.
Yeah. So they say that when it happens, when did it happen? Did it happen at school? Did it happen at home? So then we shift the blame. We understand, and we shouldn't. We should still treat it like the normal bullying which happens at school. You understand? Because you'll find it's between the students. Because if this student was not at that particular school or never came to that school, they were not going to be bullied. You understand? So if bullying, it's not even about they don't know what to do. It's information, it's the knowledge on how to handle it. Yeah, because my thesis, it was on school bullying.
Really?
Yeah, being bullied. I was also bullied. Dude, 6 primary school. What do you think would happen to you?
No, I also moved around a lot. I think I also.
So when you're always a new face.
I'm also on about 7 schools.
Yeah, when you're a new face, you're bound to be a target. You understand? So Mina, I've done full circle. I was bullied, I became a bully. It's to survive, Baba.
Oh, yeah.
You understand that? Just like you were saying, Guti, you used your anger now to fight back. You understand?
It's true.
Mina, I was like, no, I'm tired. Guni victim, guys. You understand? So that's another thing. I learned the behavior from a bully. Guti, oh, my bully, this is what you do. Okay. Next time, I'm taking that position. You understand? So that's how human behavior is learned. That's why I always say Guti is learned. So Guti is yummy. I tapped into the space of let's work with the teachers, because in my space you cannot interview children. You need consent forms and all that stuff, and it was going to take me a while. So I was like, okay, let's target the teachers. Let's ask them their lived experiences when it comes to school bullying, and what do they feel about a defender, a bystander being a defender. Because my whole idea of a solution here bullying, laba bathatha video, they should be the ones standing up.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Not being the ones who are just starting video and you understand? Laba, the bystanders are actually the most powerful participants who can stop bullying.
True.
You understand?
True.
But because abazi, it doesn't happen. So Tini focus it's always on the bully and the victim, and we leave the bystanders.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to teach the bystanders to become participants, active participants in stopping bullying. Because in schools, what I usually start with is a simple thing: uniform.
Okay.
What does uniform mean? It means unity. You are united, which means I must have your back, you must have my back.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, if we are competing with another school that comes in, we're not going to be fighting here. We are competing with them. Masnabo, we look united and we cheer each other on. So that whole concept of unity, uniform, needs to also come into the space of teaching children when they have to deal with school bullying. Uguti, how do you allow another student to beat up another student who's wearing the same uniform as you?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. What are we saying? You understand? And who are you challenging? The bystanders. Let's forget about the bully. Bully, I think they've had enough airtime. As a result, I don't even like calling it anti-bullying. Bully, because it's like you are still giving them power. Because you must remember, for you to be a bully, you are using your power.
True.
You understand? To take control of the victim. And intimidate them. And either you are physically abusing them, emotionally, or cyberbullying them. It's the power that you think you have. So that power can be taken away by the bystanders, because that power, uyuwani, does not exist without support.
And the bully is normally in a 5 or 10%.
Exactly. And the bullies are always surrounded with people who won't stand up to them. And
but if they did, they wouldn't have a job. They wouldn't have a responsibility.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Guti, let's educate these ones, the bystanders.
The enablers.
The enablers of the bully. Let's equip them and let them stand up. When the bully starts saying, not here.
So to tackle cyberbullying would be educating the teachers.
Yes, the teachers
and the kids
and the parents.
Or the parents.
Yes,
okay.
Because the parents as well, with the cyberbullying, they've got access. And it's them who buy
the phone and
devices.
the data. Yeah.
So why are the parents now all of a sudden scared to take charge and control of these devices? You understand? And the parents, they need to also learn to discipline their children, not punish. There's a difference in it.
What is discipline and what is punishment?
The punishment in the mina is schooling.
Okay. Backtrap. Yeah.
So Yaban, that's
Yeah.
punishment. Discipline is instruction. I need you don't know. So let me teach you.
Although my mother used to punish and discipline.
Yes. I need to be back punisher because you bonga mameli discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hona laba bangabi ne opportunity discipline.
Oh.
Kuvele nje
Yeah.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Ayikho discipline.
Yeah. So mina with my children,
yeah.
when they make a mistake, it was an sit. You didn't know. Let me make you aware. This is what you just did. This is how you're going to get into trouble. These are the repercussions and whatnot. I hit bongas. Manje so yas. So next time, choose wise. Because my repercussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you decide what you want to go this route, understand the repercussions.
And the repercussions must be
discipline.
clear.
Yeah, that is discipline. You are instructing them.
Okay.
While punishment, remember punishment is about, it's punitive.
Yeah.
It's causing harm and it's causing fear. And no one learns in that space. So Tina, mina ngikule ngisaba ukushaywa not because ngifunde lesson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ngisaba ukushaywa nje.
Yeah.
Nasesikoleni abo teacher bengisaba nje ukushaywa because you understand. Not because ngiyakhumbula into beka ngikhumbula nix. Ngikhumbula stick.
It's true.
So discipline, then you learn. Then you give the child the opportunity to decide. And you are equipping the child, you are empowering the child.
Yeah.
You are giving them a platform which you choose.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. But if you choose wrong, understand the repercussions and you have to deal with them.
And then also as a parent, you must be consistent.
Yeah.
You can't be like, no, if you do this and do this, these are the repercussions. Then the kids do that, then you don't deal with the repercussions.
You see, now you're coming into a space of parenting styles. There's different parenting styles.
Okay.
Do we have time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All right, let's go. I'm loving this, man. I'm learning.
So again, awareness.
Okay.
And it's Tina, when you become parents, there's no book that you get which is this is how a parent should function.
Yes.
Right? But I believe they are well equipped. There's research done, and with psychology, I was like every time it was a mic drop moment or poof.
Yo.
How come I didn't know this?
Yeah.
Or how come my people don't know this? How come we are not aware? Because if you are aware of this, then you start to understand. Oh, that's why I bad behavior, guys. Okay, it's this parenting style. You understand? So it progresses. Initially, there were 4 parenting styles. Now there's 5. The number one is authoritative.
Okay.
No, authority, like authority.
Okay.
Where a child is seen but is not heard.
Like the Afrikaners.
Yeah, or ekhaya abantu abadala hey umntwana khuluma.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Umntwana uzositshelani?
Ukuthi hayi.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Or keep quiet. You
Yeah.
understand? You are seen but you're not heard.
Yeah.
And the parent will always say, because I said so.
Oh,
my
yeah.
way or the highway. That's authority. Right? You are always giving authority. Umntana mnikezi nechance ukuthi athi ngicela ukubuza. I understand? Ayikho leyo nto leyo. So that's number one. And abantwana abanjalo usually they struggle with self-esteem because they're not given a platform to talk. They're not given a platform to have a voice. Yeah. Number 2, kuba permissive parent.
Permissive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Permissive parent actually wants to be chomi yako.
Oh.
So ama-rules le nto uceda uyisho ukuthi uzosho one thing kusasa sekayachange there's no follow through.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand, you mess up the child
Okay.
because now the child struggles with authority, the child now struggles with rules. And umntana onjalo esikoleni ucabanga ukuthi uzoyenzani anyeka khona ucope because now uhleli phambi kwa-teacher umtshelayo ukuthi in this class there are rules, this is what you must do so that you get this, and the mntana is like, no, at home we don't do that, I have my way. And umamam nobabam machomam, you understand. So umntana onjalo again then struggles with authority, struggles with rules. And then kube ne-avoidant parent.
Avoidant. Okay.
Avoidant parent is the one who's not, or another word of avoidant parent is an uninvolved parent.
Okay. Or absent parent.
Yeah, like the name says.
Yeah.
What could cause that? It's either the parent maybe suffers with extreme mental disorder, right? So they are there, but they are not there. Others umsebenzi bapusha gold, bafuna imali, umntana bamnikeza ama basic needs, but there's no parent attention. You don't even spend 2 minutes to say how was your day, how was school,
Yes.
where's the homework. Uninvolved parents, they feel good abantwana must raise themselves. You understand? So umntana onjalo, what do you think they're going to be like in the community and at school? And then bese kuba authoritative, which is what we want to become.
Okay.
Where it's a parent, where there's boundaries, where the child can access the parent, but they still know this is my parent.
Yeah.
There's a line I cannot cross. But the child magafunu kuluma, bamnikeze platform ukuthi akhulume. You understand? Ama rules are corner, but ama rules are not punitive. They are more on the discipline side. But ne punishment corner, but it's more discipline than punishment.
Okay.
While the first one, it's punishment. You are punishwa lapha, yeah. Authoritarian, yeah, authoritarian. You are punishwa. Authoritative discipline.
With a little bit of punishment if need be.
Yeah, because sometimes in labor zizwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the recent one, which was discovered, helicopter.
Helicopter.
They call it
Okay.
helicopter parenting. What does the helicopter do? It hoovers.
Oh.
So
okay.
when you are always fighting for your child, you go and you ask, talk to the teachers. You are the one who's choosing which coach your child must go to, which class your child must go to. You understand? You are always at the forefront.
Yeah.
You understand?
Oh, I see.
And when you do that, you are taking the independence away from your child.
It's true.
Because your helicoptering is actually driven by fear. Maybe something happened to you as a parent and you were like, no ways, me, I'm going to be there, but you are there on steroids to a point where now you are taking over. The child can't breathe.
No, I agree.
So now if we were aware of that, as a parent, don't you think you would sit with yourself and be like, yo, Mina, when I discovered I could see what I fall in all of them, and I was like, yo, something has to change.
let me choose one.
Yeah, the one which will bring me peace of mind, so that even when I know my child is not in front of my eyes, I know that they've chosen a right decision.
Yeah.
And even if when they fall, I know they tried to choose right.
Yeah.
You understand? I lay ukuthi awazi ukuthi kenzakalani, you are blind and whatnot because you are always strict. You don't want to hear anything from your child and they must do exactly what you want. Or you are not involved, your child must just raise themselves. Or you want to be a friend, like good best friend. Ganjani, when there's no boundaries, you must still know I'm your parent. You understand? So you need a structure and you need to know and be aware.
I've always said, Uguti, and I would jokingly say to some people to say, you know what, it's crazy, Uguti, before you become a pilot, you need 10,000 hours of flying. Before you become a driver, you must have a license.
Yeah.
But to become a parent, there's nothing, Jay. You can just be every Tom, Dick and Harry.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why sometimes there is bad parenting.
Yeah.
There are children who misbehave.
Yeah.
There are children who don't have the love, the care, and that's why they are adults that they are today.
They are adults who are adults but babies.
They are babies, and then you can tell, look at this one. Hey, Mama K was babying them until they were in their 30s. Marakala can still run to mom and dad. So I don't know. Is there a need for us? I mean, I think it's a crazy question, but is there a need for us to create more awareness around? Because Mina, when I talk to young people, I always say to them, Ntwana, don't rush to be a parent. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So then I would give them tips from a man point of view to say, because I was a hands-on or I'm a hands-on dad, don't rush into this thing and understand what it is that you want to do. Choose a partner carefully, because that also matters a lot.
Yeah.
Because some people, they don't, and then there was no choosing of the partner correctly. And then you wonder why the child is like this. Kante, it was the planning stages that was faulty. Is there a need to create awareness, or is there a need for strictness? Like in China, they were saying at some point, you can't have 3 children, or
China
was crazy.
yeah.
Okay.
They're not God.
Okay. But is there a need to create
I think
awareness?
there's a need for awareness.
Okay.
I think knowledge is power.
All right.
Yeah. So.
But people must choose.
But people must choose. But choose not from a place of ignorance, though.
Okay.
Choose from a place of knowledge. You go, okay, I'm deciding at 21 that I want to have a child because now I know this is what it entails.
Yeah.
Spending your
Understand.
day here.
We're doing a show, ma'am. We're just doing a podcast, an interview with her. So it's all right. Oh.
What podcast are you doing?
It's called the Free Ride Podcast. So I get to interview individuals like her and people like yourselves about life and what you've gone through, so that our viewers can learn, especially young people can learn the mistakes that you may have made.
To us, because we went through wars and everything.
Really? Oh my word.
Second World War.
Okay, well, let me take your numbers, please.
And then you'll have.
Lock this door.
Then you'll have the opportunity to
sit
enjoy
in
and
here.
sit, yeah.
Make sure I'm properly dressed.
Wow. And your number, sir?
084
084
517
517
0837.
0837. I would love to speak to you about your experience. You must have so much to share. Your name, sir?
Bill.
Bo.
B-I-double-O.
All right. No, I'll definitely give you a call. My name is Sipo.
Sipo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll drop you a message and then we'll take it from there.
100%.
I appreciate you, sir.
No problem.
Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for reaching out. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man, that was awesome. How is that?
You
Yeah.
can go for the longevity of their marriage, dude.
I mean,
the guy's still opening the door for the wife.
I think that's another beauty that that I would love to actually explore. I mean, I'm watching how they are, and I'm watching, obviously, this love thing is not easy, ne?
But we need to bring back the beauty of marriage in our society.
Ne?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Knowledge, learn, people like this, interview, give hope.
Ne?
Yeah, it's the hope that is lost, I think.
Why did we lose hope? Why do you think we lost hope?
Because we moved away from the meaning of what marriage is. We made it technical.
Okay.
We made it a paper thing.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Hence, the husband can have side chicks.
Okay.
Hence, the wife can have also, I don't know what they call it.
Map and 10.
Oh, a mapentem.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a mapentem after the husband has died and you start jollering with
No, you can have
What
that.
happens inside?
It happens apparently. So apparently when they both get older, the husband's performance is a bit slower. The sexual drive is gone. And then therefore the wife goes and seeks for the younger dudes.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's the respect of the marriage there?
So is it because also that we kind of lost Ubuntu, or we've lost an understanding of what the union of marriage is about?
I think people are going to be upset with me.
Okay.
Look, apologize in advance.
Okay.
So we need to first understand where marriage comes from. Who created marriage?
I don't know.
Wasn't
God?
it? Exactly.
Okay.
So how do we do something and function in it without him in it?
Okay.
Hence, I'm saying it has now become a technical thing. Butumshado is just a paper. I go sign and we understand. But if there's God in it, and you understand who God is in the marriage, then it becomes a different story, don't you think? Because everything now that you do is no longer about just your partner. It's about the relationship that you also have with God.
In some instances, I've seen people get married in the church, saying their vows in the church with a pastor and everything.
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years, all of that is forgotten.
Yes.
Because life happens.
Yes.
And when life happens, then God is out of the picture. Whereas they married in front of God with witnesses. But along the way...
So what needs to happen is the vows that we make, we need to carry them with us every day.
Okay.
Right? And how do we carry them? That's why you put a ring. The ring is not to show off.
Okay.
The ring is to remind you of the vows. So that if you are tempted to go to a side check, you say, wait a minute. What did I say? You understand? But, unembeza, uyenzaka so. Side check.
Yeah, I keep.
Hi, Sissy, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
When you know exactly what it, even the act of you trying to take it out, you know the truth.
You're breaking it anyway.
You are breaking the vow, and is it worth it?
Why do so many relationships, marriages fail? The divorce rate is exceptionally high in our country.
It's very subjective, eh?
Okay.
It's very subjective. What I always say, you speak to the young men and tell them, dude, you best think thrice, not even twice, before you start having a family.
Yeah.
You understand? Marriage is the same. 10 hours to become a pilot. You also need to go for pre-counseling.
Okay.
Pre-marriage counseling. Because then that's a platform where it's safe to speak your mind and talk about the expectations and what is it that you want to see happening in your marriage going forward. You understand? That's where it's a space where you create boundaries. If Benagawa create boundaries, because what I found in most couples is but boundaries.
Okay.
That's why umfana angati clap. Because asange wage wamtshela ukuthi listen here bro. La angishaywa mina. Mangashaywa, these are the repercussions. One clap and yakshiya.
Yeah.
Please don't be confused. You understand? So, agubinama boundaries isn't where you sit and you talk about creating boundaries, because a boundary is you saying no in a respectful manner so that the other person doesn't feel or get offended. You understand? And the boundaries is the rules that you create for yourself so that you feel safe.
Yeah.
You understand? And they have to do most of the time with how you were raised, your morals and stuff like that. So mahlangana no outi inuka kamnandi and whatnot. And when you know you are a staunch Christian, you know with Saturday you say Sunday na Sunday. You understand? Besu brothers at time and Saturday masihlabe. Ngai Sunday masambe se tavern instead. Besu yaya. You understand? Because you never created boundaries with him. Listen here, this is who I am. These are the things which I stand for, and these are the things which I don't stand for. This is where I can compromise. But here, nala, alufagwa.
So true.
You understand? So all those things, they happen. They're supposed to happen. But if they didn't happen and you want to get married, go to premarital counseling, because there's still a chance for you to speak up. And simple things like, you find a person, I want 2 children, yenufuna 5.
you can solve it.
You can solve it.
True. One last thing before we say goodbye, because now... Okay, well, okay.
I'm joking.
All right. Pelamina, I can talk. I don't mind. And I think the last issue I wanted to speak to you about is the issue of drugs and drug abuse. In an instance where you have to give counseling to an individual who is an addictive, or do we have addictive personalities where...
What's an addictive personality?
Meaning you can be addicted to all sorts of things. So like when you're in your teens, maybe it's porn because you are hyperactive, you are horny, you watch porn, and then the next thing it's alcohol, it drives you, then the next thing it's cigarettes, then the next thing it's hardcore drugs, then the next thing as you get older, you just move from one addiction to the other. At least that's what I'm thinking.
But when did it start? Because a person doesn't wake up being an addict. So like you are making these examples, it started somewhere.
It's influence.
It's influence, right?
Yeah.
So which means it's a behavior change which happened.
Okay.
Right?
True.
Yeah. But with drugs, the problem is it then messes up your body.
Yeah.
Your brain. Your chemicals in the brains, they start not working okay now. Hence, you always need a
Fix.
Right? So you can reverse it back when you go to rehab. Again, you need, because it's a psychological matter in the brain, you need a psychological invention. And because everything starts here, right? So as much as he's behaving like that, but the behavior stems from some types of emotions which came from thoughts of something. You understand that? So when you sit with a person who needs help, because most of the time when I sit with a person, I sit with someone who wants to be helped.
Okay.
Because that's the first step of healing. Not someone who was forced.
Oh, I see.
To come and see me. Because then that's not going to be fair. Because I can sit, you keep quiet for an hour, and then I charge you, and then see you again next week. You understand? It's forced. You don't want to be there. But someone who needs help, they need to be able to understand. Go to the journey. It's a process. It's going to be hard, but it's doable. Because you were not born a drug addict unless it's a situation where the children who are born being drug addicts because the mothers, when they were pregnant, they were taking drugs. That's a different story. We are not talking about that.
Yeah.
We are talking about what's happening in the society right now. And also, I think the society needs to show not just a little bit of empathy to our brothers who are struggling with drugs.
Okay.
Stop labeling them.
It's true.
I don't label people.
Okay.
So even if you've got depression, I'm not going to say, Usipolo depression.
Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying.
No.
Yeah. You give power to it when you name it.
Yes, and also you disempower the person. Because now what you see is no longer Sipo, you see depression.
Okay.
In front of Usipo.
Yeah.
Even when Sipo today tried and woke up and took a bath, you are not seeing it.
Yeah.
You are seeing depression.
And what is depression?
Now I'm going somewhere. So depression, it's a mental disorder. It affects the brain. It's when your brain has chemical imbalances, right?
So it's not an emotional, it's mental.
It's mental because it affects the brain. And when it affects the brain, obviously it goes to your emotions. So how does it then affect your emotions? It's you are very sad for a very long period of time.
Okay.
Constant sadness, where when it grows into a place where you are now hopeless, you are not motivated, you isolate yourself, you don't want to be with other people, you understand? But people need to be very aware of depression. There's normal depression, and then there's a depression mental disorder. normal depression is, for example, when you've lost someone you love.
Oh.
You are allowed to be depressed about the loss. You understand? You are not supposed to be diagnosed and be put on medication. You understand? Because you are grieving there, you are in mourning. You understand? You need to deal with the loss. I mean, if you know with the stages of grief, one of them is depression, which you are supposed to go through the depressive stage. You understand? It becomes a problem when now you are stuck in the depressive state. So 3 years down the line, you are still depressed, you are not functioning. You are not doing your daily activities anymore. You are constantly sleeping, or you've got insomnia, you're not sleeping. You understand? Then you need help. But we shouldn't even wait for 3 years.
So what do you do to assist somebody who has depression?
So someone who's got depression, I need to one of the symptoms, or some of the symptoms, is that they are not sleeping. They feel hopeless. They're giving up on life. They are sad all the time. They don't see any light in anything. They just see dark. You understand? Then you need to refer them to a psychologist or a registered counselor or social workers. And then if it's social workers and registered counselors like us, we will then see how the symptoms have been persisting. So if they've been persisting for a very long time, then Mina, on my side, I need to refer you to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, someone who's going to diagnose you and give you medication so that the brain, the chemical, they give you medication to balance your chemicals in your brain.
So there's still hope for anyone who has depression?
Definitely, but they need support.
What kind of support?
From their loved ones. They need to allow them a space so that they can talk about it. You understand? And again, don't label the person. Depression namhlanje. Depressed mngani. No.
Yeah.
It's more, how are you feeling today? Let's take a walk. Let's talk. What do you want to eat? Can I make you something to eat? You understand?
Okay, so I think we've touched so many issues. So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, how do they need your services? With Yazin, I feel like I am not well. But how does anyone decide which I want to see a registered psychologist? How do you know that you need help?
When you feel you've hit a ceiling and you don't know where to turn. When you are overwhelmed by something, or you are confused about something. You know, so like for example, with teenagers, it's usually, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to study.
Okay.
And then someone who's depressed or has symptoms of depression, because remember, you cannot diagnose yourself. So you can be carrying symptoms of depression. You become depressed until you're diagnosed. Just like with anxiety, mental disorder. You can't go around and saying, I've got anxiety, mental disorder, but you haven't been diagnosed. You can have symptoms of it and carry them without knowing, all right, until you sit with someone who can say, wait a minute, you saying this has been persisting for how many months? Non-stop every day, and now it's affecting your work performance. You now cannot work, you now cannot do your work. No, we need you to go and be diagnosed or be assessed for a diagnosis.
Okay. So, all right, so somebody wants to get a hold of you. They want, how do they get a hold of you?
I think, must I give my email address?
I think your email address, yeah.
Because my cell phone, I forgot. Because I've got a work one and I've got a personal one, and the work one I forgot.
Maybe what we can do is that you'll give me the one that they can get a hold of you on, and then I'll just put it on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So your last message to anyone, like people who are watching, who need help, what would you like to say to them?
Get help, eh? It's everywhere. It's available, especially psychological help. Because right now, I think everyone needs it. especially where we come from with the COVID.
Okay.
Someone is going through something and they don't know how to deal with it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you are that person, reach out. There's places like THANDEKA, you can call them. They can help you. There's social workers. Go to your community social worker. They are supposed to be those people who point you at the right direction, and it's for free when you go the social worker route. You understand? And THANDEKA as well, when you call them, it's for free. It's just that THANDEKA is telephonical. It's not face to face.
Okay.
Yeah. And then reach out to registered counselors like us and psychologists. We are everywhere.
Okay, so just one last point you made there is that COVID affected us. How did COVID affect us?
Isolation.
Okay.
We are social beings.
Yeah.
Others lost loved ones and they could not go to the funeral. So some people are carrying grief which has no closure.
True.
Some lost jobs. Another thing which people forget, with grief is not just about bereavement of losing someone. Any type of loss, you go through grief. So when a man loses his job and is depressed, it's part of the grieving process. But they don't know. They're thinking now they are depressed, everything is lost. No, Kanti, they're actually going through a process. It's okay for you to feel like this right now because you've just experienced a huge loss which has now changed your lifestyle and is affecting your family, and everyone is still looking at you as a provider. You understand? So those are the conversations men are supposed to have. Which, okay, after the depressive stage, then what happens? You understand?
Yeah.
Those are the conversations. Which there's first denial, there's then depression, and then there's bargaining, there's anger, and then there's acceptance. Once you get to the acceptance stage, you're like, okay, I've lost my job, but what is it that I have? What did I learn from that job? What is it that I can start doing right now with what I have while I'm waiting for my CV to be accepted by someone else? You understand? Yeah. But most of them, they stay in the depressive and they feel like everything has been lost, all hope is gone and whatnot.
It's so
and
true.
those things, they happen when you talk. Because Nini counseling, I like to explain it very simple. I call it talk therapy.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's a space where it's safe for you to talk. You're not going to feel judged. And you can be as transparent and genuine as you are. No one is going to judge you. However, if there's a maladaptive behavior that is causing you torment, then the counselor has every right to challenge you on that maladaptive, because it's not serving you well, Anita.
Yeah.
And we are here to change the behavior. And remember, in changing the behavior, we go to the emotions, we go to the thoughts. What is it that you are thinking?
Yeah.
So we change the thought, we restructure the way you are thinking and how you perceive the situation. The example I like to make, two boys raised in the same family, the father is an alcoholic. When they grow up, one is a drunkard and the one doesn't touch alcohol. Why? Perception.
Okay. Meaning the other one sees it differently, the other one sees it differently.
Yeah, it all starts here. The thought affected the emotions. The other one was like, I'm never going to be that man because I can see it took our time away, him being drunk, and we didn't have a good relationship. I'm never going to touch alcohol. While the other one is like, oh, he drinks, I'm drinking. And he can't tell me anything.
It's so true. It's so true. And I find, Uguti, a lot of us as men, we don't have outlets to talk. But we think Uguti maubodla melu etavenini, at a pub, at a club, drink with a couple of friends. Once you've drunk, you don't even talk. You talk about meaningless stuff. And I always encourage it on this channel to say, Amachita must talk.
Talk therapy is called counseling.
Yeah.
Counseling is not to say you are crazy. No. Counseling
or
is
you are weak.
I'm overwhelmed. I need another perspective.
Or also that you are not weak.
Yeah, no, you're not. If anything, you are actually the man, because you are acknowledging the fact that you need to go and talk somewhere where you're not going to be judged, where it's your space, it's your safe space.
Do men feel comfortable talking to you?
Yeah, because I don't judge. Like right now, are you comfortable talking to me?
No, I am.
Yeah.
But if I was coming for my issues, I'd probably be like, I don't know if she will get me.
No, if I don't get you, that's the wonderful thing about a counselor. I'm a registered counselor. I don't come as an expert.
Okay.
So if I don't get stuff, ngizokutshela Sipho la ndoda isho ukuthini kahle kahle asiyibeke ngenye indlela.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because we are trying, what I usually say, Guti, I'm your passenger, I've got the map, you're the driver.
Okay.
But you don't know, you came to me because you know Guti, you've got a destination to go to, but you don't know how. I mean, I've got the map. But I'm not driving for you.
Okay.
You must be the one driving.
Yeah.
You understand? Because why, when I use that metaphor, is because counseling is not me giving you advice. I'm not allowed to give you advice. Because if I give you advice, I can harm you.
Okay.
Because when it doesn't work out, then you go, Utandega, ute.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I don't give advice. No ways. I can lose my license.
You refer to like psychologists? Or
No, even psychologists are not allowed to give advice. So in our session, in the counseling, remember I said it's talk therapy.
Okay.
We are bored.
Yeah.
And then mina petit map
Yeah.
maso bodlile.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Ukuthi okay, sihlanganisa kanjani le puzzle, because manje uqeda ukulahlela ipuzzle ngaso, but you are stuck, you don't know how the pieces come together.
True.
So mina, I've got the instructions. Good, okay, the instructions, it says first one, find piece one, but you need to find the piece one yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Makes
discover
sense.
that process yourself.
Yeah.
I go to ngithatha piece one nginikeze yona.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Siswam, this has been such an amazing session. I've learned so much, and I think I got some counseling.
I'll send you my invoice.
I got some counseling. So and I really appreciate you, like, just making time to come and share your knowledge, because men do need help, children do need help, we all need help. And I think the biggest challenge, and speaking as a man, Uguti, often we don't think we need help, and we don't admit that we need help. And like you were saying, Uguti, so many of us have lost things in the last 2-3 years, and we are walking around with a lot of pain and depression, and we are just trying to cover it up as if we are okay. And so many guys also turn to substances because
they can't cope.
You know, and alcohol being one of the number one thing. Maukulma namachi tukutai when ungatu puzeluguti you are covering issues. But you know, and you can hear uguti, the anger is coming out because now they are being defensive. You know, you are attacking that which helps them. And so, you know, I appreciate uguti, you are able to share uguti. Actually, you can come for help, and it's okay. And it helps to actually
women
start talking.
bother, eh?
Hey, women do, eh?
Women do. That's why you always say in Bogota we are strong and whatnot. Because in our circles we bother.
Yo.
Like I've got friends where I can go and bother about Gerald, but you find Gerald doesn't have a space like that.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I really appreciate you doing what you do, and all the best to you and the family and the kids, and all the best with the business.
Yeah, all the best to you too.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Man. Let this thing grow, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So this is how we come to the end. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much to everybody who keeps giving us the love. To Sis THANDEKA, we have learned a lot. We really appreciate you. And continue to do the best, man.
Yeah.
And of course, her numbers will show at the bottom. Make sure that you contact her if you need help. And just be depressed on your own. Come and seek help. She's here to assist you. And if you got kids and you can't manage it, you can't manage them, you need help, she's here to assist you. You have marriage problems, come with your wife, speak to her. She's available, she's accessible, and she'll be able to help you.
Also do group counseling.
Group counseling. Oh, okay. Meaning what? Like as in a school, like a church, like a business
So, for
partners?
example, anger management.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If there's a group which is struggling, and because I think group counseling works better than individual, because when you're sitting, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one going through this.
Okay.
So the healing process, it begins quicker.
Yeah.
And the sharing as well, because remember, it's a safe space that you create. So why I'm saying group counseling is because I can see you're stressing the men, a space where they can bother as
Yes.
men, where you don't feel ashamed. It's only me going to counseling. Let's make it a group thing where we come, and whatever issue that we need to tackle, we tackle it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, man, let's go and get help, people. We've got kids who look up to us, so let's make sure we get as much help as possible. So we out, man. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Boom.
Done.